I have a pretty good amount of computer parts, not a ton, but a pretty good amount, and I'm gonna show you how I organize my computer parts. The first step, I always like to start at my desktop. I use Google Docs to track everything digitally, and then we'll get over to how I do everything in the real life and not just on the computer. But let's hop on over to Google Docs first. Actually, Google Sheets, sorry. I use Google Sheets. So here's how I have it set up. I have a PC parts inventory. That is what I title it. And as you can see, I have CPUs, Intel CPUs, AMD, GPUs, AMD, NVIDIA, etc. And then motherboards, memory, storage, power supply cases, fans, cooler, miscellaneous. And then I haven't really used anything in here, but if I get anything in like a big bundle and I just want to keep track of, okay, I bought that for this price and then divide it up, etc. And then in here is more of the interesting stuff. This is where I plan all my builds out. I have a month of June, July, August, September, October, this month, etc. I will start on a new tab for you guys so you can basically just follow along. So you want to start on Google Sheets, just do a blank one right here, and then basically you just type it like that. So right there, CPU's Intel in the first little column, and then for these big things I like to do 18 and then bold them. So I set the font size to 18 and I hit bold. Right click at the top of A, and then it goes to resize column, and then you hit fit to data, and then it expands it to fit everything in there. And say you buy an i5 4460, and then you put the price 25. Okay, and I like to bold the price as well, so then it looks like that. If we hop over back to my main one that I actually use, you can see everything in black is what I use and have available to build with PCs, and then everything in red is what I had but is already in PCs. So I turn it to red and I cross it out if it's unavailable. And then say if I'm planning a build on sheet 2, you can see here, like plan out a build, I'll put all the parts, CPU, GPU, motherboard, memory, storage, and etc. I'll turn to this page, put the font color to blue, so I know, okay, that's in a build. It's available, but I can't really use it again because it's already in a build, if that makes sense. But I'm not planning with that, so I'll just turn it back to black. But let's do a real life situation. Okay, so recently I bought a bunch of cases from Newegg. I use my phone to keep track of everything. You can see there, it's just like Newegg, and then you just go in your orders and everything, and it has all the prices. So I'll track down some coolers I bought. I bought some Vetro V5 coolers, so I'll go over to my fans and cooler tab here and get ready to type 2 Vetro V5s. So I'll type it out, Vetro V5 CPU. And then cool thing about Google Sheets as well, if you saw that, if you type the same thing before, like for instance, I've already bought in these coolers before, so it has it typed out, you can just hit enter and bam, it's right there. But I bought 2. So and then I do parentheses times 2. And then I got them for $49.98, but that's for the price of 2. So I'll divide that by 2, which is $24.99 each. So I'll type out the price and then I'll put each next to it and then bold that as well. And then the next cooler I bought is a Vetro V3, not the V5. So I'll type that out as well, but I only bought one of these. So then we'll just do that again. And I got it for $19.99. So $19.99 and bold it as well. And then bam, you have all your coolers, and then you have the ones that you've already used if you're this far into your little list here. And then I also bought a few cases off of Newegg, so I'll go over to my cases little section here and I'll start typing them out. I got an Easy Gaming F10, and it's right there. I've already bought this before, so I'll just hit enter, and that's actually, I got it for a different price this time. So I got that case for $46.94. So adjust the price and then bold it. Then for cases, you can see I put ATX because it's an ATX case. I just like seeing what I really have without actually having to look at the case. I can just look at what I typed out. So it's an RGB case within an ATX form factor. And then this one was a simple case. It's just a Zalman ATX and then black in parentheses, just saying it's a black case. Sometimes I do that as well, but you can really do whatever you want. This is just what I do. And then I bought another Montech case. If you guys saw that video, the flipping video, that case was I actually really enjoyed it. So I went ahead and bought another one. So you can just hit enter and it types it all out. But this time I did not get it on sale. So let's adjust the price. I got it for $75.20 and then bold that as well. We'll put in the last case I got off of Newegg. It's a DIY PC case. I'm honestly loving the DIY PC cases. They're super fun to work with. The names are a bit weird. So I just basically put DIY PC. It's an ARGB case, meaning you can adjust the lights, and it's in white. And the price was $49.88. I'm pretty sure I got that on sale as well. And then of course, bold the prices just so it sticks out. And then like I said, for sheet 2 is where I plan everything out. So I'll show you guys how to do that here. So I want to go here and down at the bottom, there's bottom left, there's an add sheet thingy, and then sheet 2, bam. And then you can just start typing out like completed builds such as I have, and then you can type out the months just like that. You can just follow what I do. I do CPU, and I have an i7, GPU, motherboard, memory, stored, and then I do the prices that I paid for it, which I get them from the bolded sections there. Then I tally that all up. I got this total cost there, 312, what I sold it for. I like to keep track of who I sold it to as well, just in case like they come to me again and I can like recognize them. You know, I don't know, I just like doing it. And then how I calculate my prices, I go to eBay, and then I have my eBay prices. So I search it up on eBay, i7 4790. Okay, and then you go all the way down to sold items there, and then bam, you get the average price basically. And when I did search it up, that is what that average price was. Then I tally all that up and get a total price for that. And then under here is where I do listing price. But yeah, that's how I do everything on like the digital side of things. Now let's move over to the physical side of things and how I store it all and kind of keep track of it. Well, try to keep track of it, because sometimes it gets out of hand. As I said, I try my best to keep it organized, but sometimes it just overfills because I am kind of limited by my space. I'm just in my little apartment here, and this is just in the game room area. But yeah, I did pick up this little shelf, if you guys seen it in a previous video, and I like to keep my graphics cards on top, but as you can see, it's kind of overflowing right now with like a motherboard there, a CPU there, graphics cards, etc, etc. Then down on the lower shelf, I like to keep my important motherboards. I do have more than this, which are stored away in a closet. And then down on the shelf below it, picked up these little tubs or totes here from Target. It was like pack of 5 for like $5. It was a pretty good deal. I'll go over those. And then the bottom, I like to keep my heavier stuff such as power supplies. There's some fans here. Coolers that I just put on the Google Sheets I need to put down here, which are just down here. Like I said, it overfills and it gets unorganized, but I try to keep it as organized as possible. As you can see, I even have cases, which is just in my living room here. I keep them in the corner right by the door. I even have a motherboard that I picked up on a video that I'm working on. But yeah, it gets unorganized, but I try to keep it organized. And as I said, I do have stuff stored away in a closet in this little plastic 3-cart thingy, 3-shelf cart. Yeah, I can't even talk. But I have like older motherboards, older graphics cards, basically just display outputs, basically. Just random cables in this top one. More older motherboards and stuff. And I also have this awesome little thingy, which I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of times, but I will go over it after the shelf. So back at the shelf, let's talk about all these little totes here. Let's bring them out and just set them right up there. Yeah, if we take off all these lids here, we'll just set them right there. 1 lid, 2 lid, 3 lid, blue lid. You know, like 1 fist, 2 fist, yeah. All right, so this first tote / tub, whatever you want to call it, container, I just keep random cables. I got this little thing that someone sent out to me. Thank you, Shayna's Epic, by the way. It's a USB to like SATA adapter. But yeah, I just keep random cords. This is like a aux cord and a USB cable in there, a HDMI to DVI adapter, a CPU mounting cooler bracket. Basically, this is just random bits and bobs that I may need, like a SATA to 6-pin PCIe. Yeah, just randomness. And then in here, I keep more parts. I want to expand once I get more, but yeah, this is my little RAM bucket here. I have my DDR4 stuff, DDR3 stuff. I try to keep it organized, but the DDR4 has been coming on to the DDR3 side. Yeah, this is my RAM, DDR3 on this side and DDR4 on this side. And then for storage drives, this first bucket here is 500 gigabyte hard drives, 2.5-inch hard drives, etc. And SSDs, which is oh yeah, I'm out of SSDs. Minus this M.2 one. I do have more SSDs coming in on Amazon, but I keep my 500 gigabyte hard drives in this one and my SSD. And then moving on over to the next one is just my 1 terabyte hard drive. Yeah, it's just 1 terabyte hard drives, just like 500 gigabyte, but it's 1 terabyte. Now let's talk about that thingy right there. I got this thing a while ago for Christmas. It was either from my girlfriend or my mom. I really forgot, but thank you to whoever bought it for me. It's an Akro Mills organizer. Right there is a little brand. I'll try to link it down below, as well as like totes and stuff that I use. But yeah, this is where I keep all my screws. This first one has like motherboard screws, M.2 screws, etc. It's pretty stacked. I get a lot of screws, extra screws and stuff like that. And this one's just like power supply screws, like the bigger fat hexagon screws basically. I just keep them all in here. And then I have my long screws for attaching fans to radiators and such. And then the next one is these ones. Actually, these are the power supply ones. The other ones were the fan ones. These are the hexagon ones. Yeah, I have it separated by black and silver just because. Then this last little compartment here, just a bunch of extra thumb screws. I don't know, there's just a lot in case the case doesn't have any. I have extra. This one, thermal paste, This one's standoffs and the standoff little things to tighten the standoffs down. This one is just a miscellaneous silver screws. I don't know, it's just literally a bunch of random screws that I may need. Same with this one. This is just a bunch of random screws, but all in black. Down here is this AMD mounting hardware for the normal coolers on the AM4 motherboards. This one is extra PCIe brackets. This one's all black and one silver in there. This is white and black ones, but yeah, those are just PCIe brackets. These are extra batteries. Now you're probably wondering what are these for if you don't really have a clue. These batteries are the CMOS batteries. Sometimes the CMOS batteries do die and it causes problems, so I just bought a bunch off of Amazon, so I always have fresh ones. I don't always replace the CMOS battery, but if there's having BIOS issues, then I try to replace these, and sometimes it fixes it. And this one, I just have some electrical tape, a little Swiss Army knife, and my magnetizer for my WOW stick. This one over here, it was my RAM, but then I got this bucket. This one just has a little Ryzen CPU in there. And then this one is my Intel CPUs, not a bunch, but I have a few Intel CPUs. And this one, it's a little protective cage for Ryzen processors and more AM4 mounting backplate. But yeah, like I said, I try to keep it organized. This shelf definitely helps, but I even have stuff under this little desk here. I even have an extra PC case there. Basically, I ran out of space here, and this shelf will have to do. I mean, it helps a lot, definitely it does. Anyways, that is how I organize my PC parts. Well, try to keep them organized, honestly. But yeah, I hope I was able to help you guys out and maybe share some tips with you, like doing it on Google Sheets. I know that really helps me instead of like trying to remember what I paid for everything. Yeah, I try to cover everything what I do, really. I mean, there's not really much, but like I said, I just try to help you guys out. If I forgot to mention something, leave your questions down below in the comments. Smash a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you loved it. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is December 26th, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.